Well, hi, and welcome to my shop, and thanks for joining me here today. It's October 30th, and I've just started working on this rather unusual ship radio. It's just an AM radio. Well, what I'd really like to show you is a real ship's radio. I'm going to get that up on my bench, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, let me get it up there. So what do we got here? Now, I think I did a video on this a couple years ago, and so I'm basically repeating what I did a couple years ago. I'm not about to make this guy operate in any way, but here it is. Marconi, licensed under Armstrong FM system patents. Now that's pretty interesting, because I'm pretty sure that Armstrong was the guy who invented the FM technique of radio transmitting, and obviously he must have had a patent. It was still active at the time this thing was made. When is this from? What year is this from? Good question. So Marconi, I can't really read it here. Just a second. Take it closer. It's a Marconi frequency modulation transmitter, model FT12, serial number 119. Yeah, I can't imagine they made many of these. Canadian Marconi Company. Somebody's painted this number on. It's probably like a number for a ship, probably numbered on a ship. And it's just got some inputs and outputs and the like. I don't think there's too much else showing here. It's like I'm going to get the cabinet off of it. This is a little challenging in itself, getting this off. So I really don't know what this is all about, frankly. What would they be doing with an FM transmitter on a ship? I don't know. This is hard to get off. Very hard to get off. Okay, so I'm going to struggle and get this off. You don't need to watch me struggle on this. It'll get ugly too. Okay, it wasn't all that ugly. You have to wedge it up on its edges and get it kind of loose. These things are locking handles too. This one feels like it's in the lock position. But I've got it loose now. We should be able to get it right off. There we go. Ooh-wee, look at this thing. So a few things stand out right away on this. This guy really stands out. Two big tubes here, transmitting tubes, no doubt. I got a tuning capacitor right up here, says plate on it. And these different tuning and tubes back here. Hammond transformer. Hammond transformers are made in Ontario here. And this looks like a locking thing that's not locking anything. I don't know what that is. So I have not tried to power this guy up because I need a ship to do it. So I don't know too much about this, but I understand that ships typically distribute electricity at a very, very low voltage for reasons I don't understand. They have the great big copper conductors to do it, but that's how they do it. And with such a low voltage, very, very low voltage, you can't operate a radio, especially this thing, and needs pretty high voltage on these transmitting tubes here. So what it has, believe it or not, is this big thing is a motor generator set built right into it. I think that's probably the most interesting part of this whole thing. Dynamotor. Input volts 5.5. Output volts 600 volts DC. Amps, what does that say, 30? I'm not sure what it says there. Carter Motor Company, Chicago, Illinois. Made in the USA, of course. And temperature rise 50 degrees C, speed 5,700 RPM in there. So the ship's power powers this, And then this thing develops the high voltage that's needed to probably all the voltage is needed to operate this radio, because you need quite a high voltage for these guys, but you still need a couple hundred volts anyway, or more for these tubes. So that's about it. I can't show you too much more about it. Oh, let's look underneath. Is it covered underneath? Oh, this weighs a ton. No, it's open underneath, so we can look. You know, this is built strong. These look like relays here. Yeah, relays. And some oddball thing here. Another relay. Those are more relays. Why so many relays? And lots of interesting circuitry here. You know, offhand, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy were to operate if you could power it up properly, just in the condition it's in right now. Who knows? Interesting. How much power does it put out? What did they do with this thing? Like, what do they need it for? Just a ground connection there. Well, circuit, okay. There's a stamp. So the circuit's okay. It's very heavy because of this guy, and I suppose this transformer would add a little bit. It's got these big 1,000 volt capacitors here, and that's about it. There's not much else to show you. But I thought while I was working on the ship radio, the little AM ship radio I'm working on now, I had to bring this out. It's kind of topical, so I'd slip this video onto my channel just to have a look at it. That's it. That is it. So thanks a lot for watching this quick one, and I'll get back to the wooden sailing ship. See ya.